Thursday. It's beginning to look a lot like a Big Bang Christmas.
No.
It's actually ho, 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 but you'll get the hang of it.
Feel the joy.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen.
Done.
I think the word you're looking for is bravo.
Then get ready for a holiday surprise on a new 2.5 Men after a new Big Bang Theory. CBS Thursday.
The Big Bang Theory of gift giving.
The foundation of gift-giving is reciprocity. You haven't given me a gift. You've given me an obligation.
It's okay. You don't have to get me anything in return.
Of course I do. The essence of the custom is that I now have to go out and purchase for you a gift of commensurate value and representing the same perceived level of friendship as that represented by the gift you've given me. It's no wonder suicide rates skyrocket this time of year.
Happy holidays from The Big Bang Theory. Every night at 6 on Fox 11.
Sitcom, all ye faithful, a Christmas podcast special, where for the third time I discuss 25 Christmas sitcom episodes. Please come and listen every day up through Christmas. I'm sure we'll feature Jeannie, the Tanners, and Nell Harper, Chandler, Big Mr. Roper. It will be dynamite. We'll definitely feature a character who says dynamite.
Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang. Hey! Since the dawn of man is really not that long as every
Happy Thursday, everybody, and welcome back to Sitcom, all ye faithful, where today we travel back to the year 2008 to talk about episode 11 from season 2 of The Big Bang Theory, the Bath Item Gift Hypotheses. Did you ever call it 2008? I feel like now we're finally calling things 2020. It took me a while because 2000s were 2000, 2008. I still was saying 2010, 2011, 2012. I don't think, maybe 2015, maybe around 2016, 2017, I was starting to finally get, comfortable saying 20. Now I say 20 all the time, 2024, 2023, 2020, and 2021. You could see that I had no idea where I'm going, and I don't plan anything out. I'm in my bathroom again. It's a good place to pace, and I can't go too far because if I do, I'll hit the toilet, and if I go the other way, I'll run into the sink. But that's not what we're here. We're not here to talk about the size of my bathroom or why I feel the need to podcast from there. We're here to talk about Big Bang Theory. Let's see. Now, I have nothing in front of me, no notes. And let's see if I can do the theme song. Okay. I can't remember it. The beginning, it's like, our whole universe was in a hot, dense, and then 40 million years ago, expansion started. Wait. The earth began to cool, the albatross began to drool, the Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall, we built the pyramids, math, science, history, unravel with the mystery, it all started with the Big Bang Bang. Big Bang Theory, would you call this the most popular sitcom of the 21st century? Like, I feel like it's up there. I mean, yes, okay, you've got The Office. The Office is probably the most, it's weird. because, well, maybe of the second decade. I don't know, because more people were watching The Big Bang Theory than they were watching The Office. Yes, The Office has like hardcore fans, and The Office is just a better show, and The Office lives on in streaming and forever, and it's a humongous fan base. But I think week to week, the show that was watched more is probably Big Bang Theory. That's my guess, based solely on the fact that CBS always had more people watching, including my parents, who loved the show. They thought it was the best. There are a lot of people who said, this show's hilarious. You watch the show, it's the best. It's hilarious. And I have to tell you, yes, I admit, I watched every single episode of The Big Bang Theory once. This is probably the first time I've watched an episode twice. And I've always thought, this show's enjoyable. It's fun. They enjoy things that I enjoy. I chuckle here and there, but I never thought it was anything great. Like, I was more into those dry, without the laugh track comedies, like The Office or Parks and Rec. I was into these shows that were a little more hyper realistic, like Community or Superstore, which is another show that I feel like is vastly overrated, that I started watching a couple of years ago. But something, to be perfectly honest with you, I liked watching this show on the train to and fro work. So I would have a 45, 50-minute train ride in the morning, in the afternoon, and what I would do, I'm gonna admit to a crime here. So I would download these shows. Now, if you download them on your home network, okay, then all of a sudden Verizon might be like, you're downloading. Remember when BitTorrents were a thing? I feel like that is of another time where you could download TV shows. And what I would do is I would download them, put them on an SD card, put them in my tablet, and that's how I would watch shows on my train ride to and from Boston. And I'm going to tell you something else here. I would watch them at 1.5, twice the speed, because I'm like, I'm getting enough. I don't care. I trained myself to watch many shows at twice the speed and get just as much out of them. I know Netflix now does it at 1.5 speed. Sometimes that's not fast enough. There's shows where it's too much and you can't do it. Or shows that are too good and you don't want to do it. But for all the shows in between, boom, I'll speed that sucker up as much as I can as long as I can understand what's going on. I have no problem. As long as I hear every word, I don't care. But here's another thing I would do. So this is sad. I would go to McDonald's. McDonald's had excellent Wi-Fi. I'd go there, order breakfast, set up my laptop, and download a bunch of shows for the week or for the month, for the next few weeks, get all caught up on things. That's where I was watching enormous amount of shows, because I had a built-in hour in the morning and in the afternoon where there was no work, no distractions. No dog, who's right outside my door right now. Listen. What is it, little girl? What is it? She has a bit of a cough. We don't know if she has kennel cough or not, but is there anything you'd like to say? No? I'm going to sit right here, and I'm going to keep talking. So anyway, that is where my fandom or my viewing of Big Bang Theory came into play, which was, through BitTorrents, through downloads, and through most of the time twice the speed. But I watched every single episode. I enjoyed it, and I have to say I did get a little sad at the end watching the final episode, and I thought it was good. And there are moments, even rewatching this episode, I'm like, the show is pretty good. The show, I'm laughing more than I think I would have the first time around. I think I was like, this laugh track stuff is so annoying. And I do like some people went on YouTube and took this show and you remove the laugh tracks and it just looks weird and it sounds weird. But that's also because these shows have these the pacing they do is they'll wait for the laugh track to end and then boom, on to the next joke. I don't think these were filmed in front of a live audience. But anyway, you can stay in here if you want. Just talking to my dog. So this show, now it's called the Bath Item Gift Hypothesis. And I don't, that does not seem like the title of a Christmas episode, but it certainly was. It is Christmas time in California, and Penny is getting Leonard and Sheldon gifts that make Sheldon very annoyed, because he's like, no, don't you know what that means? You didn't get me a gift. You gave me an obligation. Now I have to go get a gift. So he gets Raj and the fourth guy. Why can't I remember? Okay, wait a minute. It's Leonard, Sheldon. Then there was the Raj and the fourth guy. He got married to Bernadette. He had the mom that screamed a lot. He was an astronaut, and I can't remember his name at all for the life of me. And I just watched the episode. But anyway, they help Sheldon going shopping for gift baskets. And he comes up with this plan. He's going to buy all these gift baskets because he doesn't know what to get. He harasses the woman saying, if I bought you this, would I be your friend, your coworker, your lover, your grandmother? The woman's like, you're making me very uncomfortable. So he ends up buying 6 or 7 and realizing he'll open Penny's gift first, then pretend his stomach hurts, go in the back and get the best gift basket that matches the monetary value of whatever Penny gets him. Now, while all this is going on, there's a new doctor at the college, and he's a very cool doctor. He drives a motorcycle. He's good looking. He's athletic, and he's also very smart, and he got a grant. And Leonard doesn't think he's all that cool until he asks Leonard to work with him. And now Leonard's like, oh, cool. This is great. But Leonard hurts his leg while sitting on this guy's motorcycle. So he helps Leonard get home. He runs into Penny. Next thing you know, him and Penny start dating. Penny starts pretending she's showing interest in all kinds of science and everything. And Leonard's like, since when? And nobody seems to care about Leonard's leg that the motorcycle fell on. So Leonard's bummed about that. But at the same time, he finally confronts Penny, and then not at the same time. He finally confronts Penny. It's like, why him? Why do you like him? And she's like, you know what? He's a jerk. He's a jerk because he a jerk who should know better to delete the naked pictures of his wife before he tries to take naked pictures of his girlfriend. So it turns out this guy's married, and he's two-timing his wife with Penny. And so she's drinking eggnog, but it's just rum. And her and Leonard share a little. Howard, that's his name, Howard. Her and Leonard share a little rum and drink, and as they just kind of wallow in their sorrows. She gives him a kiss on the cheek, and it is interesting to see this relationship because eventually, they end up husband and wife. Spoiler alert for those who haven't watched it. I mean, that was the main part of the episode, but to me, the highlight of the episode is the end, where they finally exchange gifts, and Penny gives Leonard his gift, and he gives Sheldon a gift. Sheldon opens his first, but he's like, I have to let you know, my stomach's been bothering me, so if I excuse myself, I apologize. He's already planning to go back and get her the right gift. So he opens a gift, and he's like, oh, it's a napkin. She goes, turn it over. And then he almost passes out. He goes, oh, my God, to Sheldon, live long and prosper, Leonard Nimoy. And he starts shaking, and she's like, yeah, he came in, and he used that napkin, and he wiped his face, and then I had him sign it. She goes, Leonard Nimoy? I possess Leonard Nimoy's DNA? All I need is, an ovum or whatever the hell that is, and I could make my own Leonard Nimoy. She's like, whoa, all I got was the autograph. He's like, he's like so happy, and Leonard has this big smile on his face. He gets a kick out of it. Sheldon just leaves. He goes, excuse me. He comes back with every gift basket. She's like, what are you doing? He goes, I know, it's not enough. So then he's like, he tries to think of something else to do, and he goes in for the most awkward hug. And you just realize, like, they're starting to really bond. Now, this is only the second season. I mean, this is already the second season, so there is a bond there. Already. This isn't like the first few episodes in. But I remember that moment, really liking that moment, really thought that moment was kind of cute and funny. And that's why I chose this one, because I was thinking about doing a later episode where the full cast is there, where you have Amy Farrah Fowler, obviously Mayim Bialik, and then you have Bernadette, the night court judge. I can't think of her name right now. You have them as Howard and Sheldon's girlfriends. I think it took a little while maybe for Sheldon, but I like this one better. I said, you know what? Let's stick with an early episode with the core cast of the show, the original 5. And if you've ever, it's also interesting if you've ever seen the original pilot. They shot a different pilot with a different Penny. I don't even know if it was Penny. It was a different actress completely. I don't know if all 4 of them were in it, and even Sheldon was different. Like he was like, I think the girl like bent over or something, and Sheldon and Leonard both looked like whoa, and that's not Sheldon at all. That's not the Sheldon Cooper we know. The Sheldon Cooper who went on to become young Sheldon. Young Sheldon I feel like is older than the current the Sheldon was in season 1 of Big Bang Theory. So I'm trying to think if anything else of interest happened. And for Raj and for Howard, they didn't do anything. They laughed. They were laughing that Penny was, getting the full brunt of Sheldon's awkwardness with Christmas. He's like, I don't celebrate Christmas. And he starts explaining all this pagan ritual of trees and everything. And they're laughing. They're like, we're laughing because it's not happening to us. And then he's like, oh, I need to go to the mall and get you a gift. And he says to Howard and Raj, you need to take me to the mall. And they look at each other like, oh, great, it's happening to us. So they were just like the comedic relief in this episode. They, hanging at it was basically a Bed Bath & Beyond. Not a Bed Bath & Beyond, a Bath & Body Works, if you know, where you get all the perfumes and the soaps and all that stuff. And it's like, Howard's like, this is the trifecta. It's lotions and perfumes and soaps. This is the trifecta for estrogen. Howard, I have to tell you something. I love going to Bath & Body Works. I love getting foamy soaps, especially mint. Give me mint soaps, mint creams. Oh yes, that is my jam. If they had mint jam, I'd get that as well. But that's mostly what they did. I did like at the beginning, they were having a nerdy conversation that I would like to have, but my friends aren't into this shit. They were having a nerdy conversation about Superman and Superman's, I think it was his dry cleaning and how he, well, what about him when he sweats? Well, he doesn't sweat on Earth. Well, what if he gets invited to someplace on the bottle city of Kandor, and then while he's there, because when he's in Kandor is replicates Krypton, so he wouldn't have superpowers, obviously. And if he was playing a game or working out, he would sweat. So then he comes home and he has indestructible sweat stains on his suit. What would he do then? And Sheldon's like, well, obviously before he left, he would take his clothes to a Kandorian dry cleaner. And I do like that Raj is like, a Kandorian dry cleaner? We can't even have a serious conversation with you. I thought that was funny. This is 2008, so this is, when you think about where they are in a show, it is, I was thinking about this today walking down the street. I'm walking down the street with my dog. And I said, if you walk down the street today, and if you walk down the street 20 years ago, 25 years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I don't know when these houses were all here. But I would say 20 years ago. Nothing would look different. Everything would look the same. Outside, walking down the street, nothing would look different at all. And you think of like in 1980, if you thought the year 2000, that you'd be in the future with flying cars and the Jetsons or something like that. And you think about it, yes, we've come a long way. Like the internet has changed the world. Social media has changed the world. But when I look around like the house 20 years ago, that stuff's the same. Like how we do things, how we consume media, but like you're not living in the quote unquote future where the world around you, like Back to the Future 2 would see it. Like that's the same. It's just the little things around us, the tools we use, the machines we use, little things like that. TVs are different, how we use them. What am I talking about? I think that's my long way of saying 2008. They're in the episode, they're playing the Wii. They're playing Wii bowling. Folks, I bought a Wii. I bought a Wii way later than everyone else did. It was the black Wii, and I owned a couple games on it. I was a big GameCube guy. Love SSX Tricky on the GameCube. But on the Wii, all I did was Wii bowling. That's all I cared about. I would play that now if my Wii's like plugged in, or I don't know if it's fully hooked up, but it's there. And probably Wii bowling's the only game in there. But they played Wii bowling. They dressed up in bowling shirts, and I thought that was kind of funny that they had a bowling group. And they're like, Leonard was talking about how cool the Doctor is. He's in a band. They're like, we're in a band. He goes, no, we play Rock Band on Xbox. It's like, oh, that's a nice attitude for the lead guitarist. My point is, the Wii Bowling dates it, but when you think about like that time, 2008, it wasn't the social media where the whole world is kind of wrapped up in social media. When you think about it, if something happens, you look there, you go there, you do something, you post it, you talk about it, you share it. And this was a world, 2008, where the iPhone, I think, was brand new, so they weren't even talking about it. People weren't staring at their phones. People weren't playing with their phones. It's just a different time. It's close enough. It's only 2008, so it's really close. It's not like the 90s. It's not like the 80s or the other episodes of shows I've done, but it's so close to where we are now, but still drastically different. Not based on the buildings, not based on even the fashion isn't all that different, but based on the phones in your pocket and how you communicate with the world. That's very different. I don't know where I was going with this. It felt like it was something, profound when I was saying it. But the most part, I felt like I was closing in this episode. I was only 13 minutes in. I was like, oh my God, wait, the Superman thing. And I wanted to mention how 2008 was like right on that cusp. That's what I wanted to mention. And I did it. I nailed it. And they actually said the title of this episode. These Big Bang Theories always have these episodes that sound like experiments and experiments. I couldn't think of anything else. And this one, he actually says, well, this is the bath gift item hypothesis. So that's when he says, suppose I get the right gift. Am I getting the right size? That's where Sheldon was so worried about the size of the gift basket compared to whatever it is that Penny got him. Oh, and the doctor the cool doctor who Penny ends up dating, I said, oh my God, that's him. Very recently I'm watching a show and I'm like, why do I recognize this guy? And I don't know for sure if it's from this show, but I looked it up. I said, oh, he was on Big Bang Theory. I don't remember that. And then, of course, I watched an episode, and he's in it. The show that I'm talking about, the current show, is The Fall of the House of Usher. This guy played the head of a pharmaceutical company that in the 70s. So if you watch the Fall of the House of Usher, there's some flashbacks to I think it's the 60s or 70s, and this guy is the boss at the time. Same guy who was the doctor, the cool doctor in Big Bang Theory. That's it. I wanted to mention that too, and I did not forget. So, my friends, Thursday is done. Thursday is in the books. We did it. It's very exciting. And I don't know what I'm going to be watching tomorrow. I very rarely, I have a list, and I go through and I go, yep, and I almost try to stagger in dates. And as I say, I don't really repeat sitcoms all that much, except when it comes to special guests. And, of course, Chris, he's always going to be watching some sort of Office with me. But there is another special guest who, when I was talking to him about what show he'd wanted to do, he suggested another episode of a show that he's already done, a show that he did last year. And I was excited to say, yes, maybe he'll be the official spokesperson for that show going forward. I don't know how many Christmas episodes they have, but I said, yes, let's definitely do it. And folks, that's still a couple weeks away. Okay. We're holding that off for a few weeks. We haven't recorded it. I haven't watched it, but I'm looking forward to it. But what is that show I'm talking about? What is the episode? Who's the special guest? Mofos, you need to stick around. You need to come back every day. Well, I guess I already said it's going to be a couple weeks away, but you need to stick with the show to find out. I mean, what could it be? It's a big giant mystery. I'm not going to tell you, but I am going to tell you this. I'll be back tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day talking Christmas sitcom episodes. And I hope you come back too. Now, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Geek Mentality, on Mastodon.social and Threads at Geek Mentality, on Blue Sky at Mikey-C, and Fans Not Experts over at Facebook. That's because the website is called fansnotexperts.com. Also, we're on YouTube. So I didn't realize this. I found this out just the other day that you can connect your RSS feed for your podcast to a YouTube channel. it will take that and automatically generate YouTube videos and put them up in a playlist for you. So it's like having a video channel too. So if you just use YouTube, go to youtube.com/@fansnotexperts, and you can see every video for every episode that's being posted. Not every episode ever, but all the new ones and all the ones from this year are definitely there. So, my friends, that's it. I'm done. I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you being here every other day, and I hope you're here tomorrow. But until then, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for following and liking and rating and reviewing. And until tomorrow, my friends, sing it with me. Get the whole family around. 1, 2, 3. Here is my theme song. Oh, my dog went and lied down. This is my podcast. I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. 'Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans, not experts.